Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just out here in the garage has been busy past few days between work and then trying to get things done on the 300 SRT8 back here. Did pick up something for the Lark. I'll share with that in a moment. Ethan and I have been kind of hard at it trying to get done what we get done as the parts came in. So basically all our parts have came in now basically for the engine, except he's wanting to do new radiator hoses and stuff, and he wants custom colors. So we got to get those ordered. He also wants to wrap the headers, and so we got to wait for that stuff to come in before we can stab that back in the car. So where we left off at, I was starting to put things back together. I was putting the heads on it. The heads and everything are torqued now. Timing chains installed, oil pumps installed, rear main seals installed. We got the timing cover on now. The water pump, belt tensioners, oil pan. He decided he wanted to do black with it. And part of it was with the aluminum, it gets that corrosive film on it over time with the little white dots, and he didn't want to deal with that. He kind of wanted to change the look up a little bit, so we did the wrinkle black on it, on the timing cover and on the oil pan. We clear coated the water pump, so it doesn't do it. Of course, we clear coated the heads. Just about got everything together. I still got to put the harmonic balancer on it. I think that's going to be it as far as getting it go into the car. Then we'll put the intake and stuff on it after we get it in. So that's where we're at on this. Like I said, I also got the oil pan for the Lark, so hopefully I'm going to try to test fit that. But we got to make a trip this weekend to Memphis and pick up some parts that I've been wanting, and now we're going to pick up some additional parts, and so we'll make a video about that. I'm excited to get some of these things for my own build for my Charger, and might pick up some extra parts maybe if he's got, I don't know what all he has, to get started with the engine for the Lark. So we'll see what happens there. But like I said, we picked up something yesterday, and of course, you know, we've converted the Lark's front end to a Mustang 2 front end. Saved us some weight, got rid of, even though the Mustang 2 is still old technology, but parts are available versus what was on the Lark originally. The rear end, of course, it's got to go too. So I've been looking on Marketplace for a while for a rear end for this thing. 4.9 inches are really expensive, and really can't afford one of those, but kind of got the next best thing. A lot of people use them now. They're readily available. A lot of people shorten them up for whatever they're using, and you can find them just about anywhere. Now, the funny part is you can go to a pick-apart and get these things for next to nothing. Well, I'm not going to lay down at a pick-apart place and try to salvage everything I need for what I need to do for the Lark. So I've been searching the Marketplace, trying to find somebody close enough to where I didn't have to drive 3 or 4 hours or whatever for this rear end. But anyway, we got a rear end for it. And like I said, a lot of people use these now. They're inexpensive. Kind of a cheaper alternative to the 4.9 inch. So we picked this up, a Ford 8.8 out of an Explorer. This one here already has the rotors on the back, the calipers, disc brake conversion's already there. It's going to have the flange I'm going to need for the dry shaft that we're going to have to build for it, which I'm happy about that. I think it's got some type of a tri-lock rear end in it, kind of like a pause. And it already has a 410 gear in it. So it kind of met all the criteria that we needed. It was fairly cheap. And what we're going to end up doing is, on these, is we're going to shorten that side, which if you flip it back over, that's going to be the driver's side tube, and shorten it to match the passenger side tube, so our chunk is centered with the car. Now, the easiest thing that I've heard through a lot of people is you shorten the tube to the same size as the passenger side, and you can actually get a passenger side axle to put on this side. And kind of inexpensive way of doing a shortened rear end or narrow rear end. So that's what we're going to do with that. And it's also going to allow us to put just a little bit wider tire underneath the Lark without too much effort and without having to put mini tubs in. So I think we're going to be all right on that. I got a friend of mine. Y'all know him. He's got his own channel, but he's a very busy man. He has a jig for the 8.8 to cut the tube down. Get back here in the garage. So I'm going to be getting with him soon on that to help me out with that. And get that cut down, get my new purchase for it. And once we get the engine and stuff set where I want it at and get my mounts built for that, we'll pull the engine out of the Lark. We'll get the Lark back up in the air. Once we get the rear end done, get the new rear end underneath it, figure out all we're going to need, what we're going to do with it. Then look at the spring situation. If we want to get new springs put underneath it, see how these are, and kind of go from there. So that's what's been going on here lately. But I'm looking forward to the trip this weekend. Hopefully I'm going to find some stuff. Like I said, I already got a couple things picked out that I want for my build. But he's got some other stuff he might want to get rid of that might help with the Lark build. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be a road trip with Ethan and I. We're going to be taking the 2014 Charger we just got. We're going to take it on this road trip, have some fun with it, and see what happens. But other than that, guys, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Ethan is still working on the wiring. So he went out actually to go get some more loom, but it's looking pretty good. So I think between the motor being freshened up, the harness being freshened up, it's just going to look real nice and clean underneath here. So, but we're going to try to clean that up too, let it match. But we still got the intake to do as far as the gaskets, get it done, get it ready to go, and clean the alternator and stuff like that. So now we're just to knick-knack stuff with this, getting the long two headers in, see how they're going to fit, and then he wants to take the car and have the exhaust done on it. So a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff has been done. So other than that, guys, y'all have a good one, a safe one, and we'll see you down the road.